Hello friends, we know that standard ISO 9001 2015 got changed or revised from 9001 2008. So in 9001 2015 standard, what are the changes from ISO 9001 2008 that we are going to see in this video? First of all, we will see why we need to know these changes, because to review and revise the organization's QMS. Whatever QMS we developed and practiced in 2008 revision standard, that we have to review and do the necessary changes for 2015 revision. Then to get the certification of revised ISO 9001 2015 standard. Third one is to understand changes from ISO 9001 2008 to ISO 9001 2015. Unless until we will understand the changes or new requirements happen in 2015 standard, we cannot go for review and revision of the organization's QMS, and we cannot go for certification. Next one is to understand new additional requirements. If in this standard there are several new additional requirements and there are several changes also that we have to understand. Last one is to understand effects on other standards. How this standard is going to affect on some of the other similar standards like IATF, ISO 14001, ISO 45001. Let us start to understand the changes between ISO 9001 2015 and ISO 9001 2008 in overall. So we will divide this into 8 segments. So in A1 there is structural and terminology changes. So we can see there are major changes in structure and terminology of ISO 9001 2015 from 2008 revision standard. Second one is products and services. So there are some minor changes that we will see. Third one is understanding the needs and expectation of interested parties. This is a new requirement in ISO 9001 2015 quality management system standard. Fourth one is risk based thinking. This is also a major change, though it was earlier there in 2008 revision standard, but in 2015 it is in major level, it is in for the total organization level. In fifth, we will see that applicability, there are some minor changes in this. Sixth one is documented information, so there are some minor changes in this too. Seventh one is organizational knowledge, and this is a new requirement. We will see in detail about this. Eighth one is control of externally provided process, products and services. These there are also some minor changes. Let us start in detail. First we will go with A1.1, that is structure. So if you see in ISO 9001 2008 and ISO 9001 2015, the clauses in ISO 9001 2008 version was 1 to 8. So total 8 clauses were there. In ISO 9001 2015 there are total 10 clauses. So this change is done because to align with other management standards, like I told you, environmental standards or OSHA standard or IATF standard, because they are also having the same 1 to 10 standard, 1 to 10 clause requirements. So first clause in ISO 9001 2008 was scope, and in 2015 version it is scope, no change. In second clause is normative reference. In ISO 9001 2015 it is the same. Third is terms and condition. In 2015 version it is the same. Now in the fourth clause or fourth requirement in ISO 9001 2008 is quality management system, and in 2015 revision it is context of the organization. So it's a major change here. Fifth clause in 2008 was management responsibility. In 2015, it is leadership, similar. In 2008, sixth requirement was resource management. In 2015, sixth requirement is planning. In 2008, seventh requirement is product realization, and in 2015, seventh requirement is support. So there is different in sixth and seventh both. In 2008, eighth requirement was measurement, analysis, and improvement, and in 2015, it is operation. In 2015, there are two additional requirements or clauses. Ninth one is performance evaluation, and tenth one is improvement. So there are total 10 clauses or requirements in 2015 revised standard. One more major difference here is, as I told you, this sequence of 1 to 10 requirements or clauses is done to align with other management system. So earlier in 2008, for example, in IATF, the ISO 9001 2008 requirements were merged with ISO TS 16949 in the same standard. Now, if you want to go for IATF, you have to refer two standards separately. That is ISO 9001 2015, which is a separate standard, and then a separate IATF standard. So there are two different standards. The similar thing will happen for ISO 9000, ISO 14001 2015 revision, ISO 45001 and 2018 revision. So earlier these standards were merged with ISO 9001 2008. Now they are separate. So you have to follow the base standard of ISO 9001 2015, and additionally whatever certification you want to go, like ITF, there is a separate standard. So these both standard you have to follow, like for other standards also. Second structure A 1.2 is, if you see the structure of ISO 9001 2008, you can see the difference between both 2008 and 2015 requirement. In what major changes that in 2008 structure, the clauses were not written in this picture, but in 2015 you can see the clauses from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In 2008 PDCA was not written, and in 2015 PDCA cycle is written. In 2008, the additional requirements like organization and its context or need and expectation of interested parties, they were not there. In 2015 it is additional requirements. There are three inputs and three outputs which are same or similar in 2015, but in 2008 it was only customer inputs and customer output, that is requirements of customer or satisfaction of customer. So it is more clean, clear and user friendly standard now because of this structure. So clauses are shown in sequence, PDCA cycle is used. There are three inputs, three outputs and clauses, four of QMS are used. Third one is A1.3 terminology. There are some differences in terminology. In 2008, we were calling it as products, but now in 2015 revision, we will call it as a product and services. So services is an additional thing. Then the exclusion in 2008 was there, but in 2015 standard in your scope, if you want, the standard doesn't allow for any exclusion, but there are some tricks that we will talk. So in 2008 management representative was a terminology. In 2015 there is no word called as a manager representative, uh, but organization go for similar responsibilities and authorities assigned. In 2008, documentation, quality manual, documented procedure and records, these were the terminology used for documentation purpose. In 2015, a simple and common terminology is used, documented information, which is going to replace all these terms. In 2008, work environment was the word or was a sentence used. In 2015, now it is called as an environment for operation of processes. So it's a more specific to the organization processes. In 2008, monitoring measuring equipment was the sentence used for inspection and controlling purpose. In 2015, it is called as a monitoring and measuring resources. So instead of equipment, the word resource is added. In 2008, the terminology was purchase product. Now it is called as external provided product and services. So suppliers are called now as external provided, and we cannot only call product, we have to call product and services. Last one is in terminology. Earlier it was called as supplier, now it is called as external. We will move to the second segment, that is A2 product and services. So if you see, the terms earlier used was product as we seen earlier. Now it is used as product and services. So services in earlier version was including in product, but now it is separately mentioned to highlight difference in application of some requirements. For example, if you see some of the clauses in 2015 revision, they are specifically clearly mentioned for service purpose. So it includes like hardware, software, services, and processed material. If you see in 2015, products have some intangible services, services have some intangible products. Why this word service is added with the product? Because some of the products will have services like some of the repair or warranty, these all are the services, and some of the services will have intangible products. That's why it is separately mentioned products and services. Third one is understanding the needs and expectation of interested parties. This is the additional new requirement in 2015 revised standard. Let us see what it is. So this is new requirement in ISO 9001 2015. It was not in ISO 9001 2008. Now it is mentioned in clause 4.2 in 2015 revision. In 2008, customer requirement was in QMS as input, but in 2015 it says for interested parties who can affect in future on organization's growth, performance, and ability to supply good products and services. Interested parties need to decide by organization, and they shall be relevant to quality management system and its scope of product and services. Such interested parties are customer, external provider, government partners, banks, workers, management, and organizations shall know and work on these interested parties' needs and expectations for good growth, products, and services. The fourth one is risk-based thinking. So in 2008 there was risk-based thinking, but in 2015 it is more elaborated for organizational level. So in earlier version it was for design failure mode effect analysis and process failure mode effect analysis, but in 2015 it is additionally for clause 4.1 and 4.22, that is external internal issues, context of organization, and needs and expectation of interested parties. That is overall organization will be worked on risk-based thinking to avoid future problems. So in 2008, no separate clause was there. Now in 2015, there is a separate clause of clause number 6.1, actions to address risks and opportunities, which works on clause number 4.1 and 4.2. In 2008, only product and process risk related actions were taken, like DFMA and PFMA. In 2015, 4.1 context of organization, 4.2 needs and expectation of interested parties related risk actions taken. In 2008, purpose of product and process related risk identification and action was there. But in 2015, which is a major thing here, additionally, overall organizations related risk and actions are considered. In 2008, standard formats for DFMA and PFMA were available, but in 2015, there is no standard format. Organization can make format with clause 4.1 and 4.2 requirements. Risk identification should be written in that. Opportunities also should be written in that. Then actions, responsibilities, target date, status, and frequency for review should be mentioned in this format and regularly used. The fifth segment is applicability. So we will see in both revisions. In 2008, exclusion for clause 7 with justification was allowed in clause 1.2, which was applicability. And in 2015, there is no exclusion permitted. You can check it in the clause 4.3. In 2008, 7.3 clause exclusion for only design of products with no effect on customer statutory and regulatory requirements. If you are not doing any design activity in earlier revision standard, so the permission was there for exclusion for design of the part. But in 2015, as you know, that there is no exclusion, but still, if you are not doing any design activity, you can have the exclusion by justification for no effect on product and services conformity and customer enhancement. So you have to put a document with your scope. So you can see this design of product and service not applicable is in 8.3 clause. So you have to put a documented information for justification as above with the scope of QMS. Same method as in ISO 9001 2008. There is no major changes here. Documented information, that is the A6 segment. So we can see in 2008 we called documents like documented info, procedures, quality manual, quality plan in 4.2 clause. But in 7.5 clause of ISO 9000 2015, now for all these things we call it as a documented information. There is a single terminology. Earlier we used to call records for whatever records we were having, we called as a records. Now they call it as a retained documented information. If required, old document version can be retained. It is not mandatory that old you can totally avoid. You can use if it is required. Where only information mentioned, no requirement of maintaining documented information. If required, organization can maintain documented information. For example, in 4.1, they are asking for external internal issues or context of organization or need and expectation of interested parties. Only information should be there with the auditee or with the department head or with the concerned person. There is no requirement for document, but we recommend to go for a document as it will help as organizational knowledge. To align with other standards, common word documented information adopted. Now this documented information or written document information, these two terminologies are used because the same terminologies are used in IATF or used in ISO 14001 or ISO 45001. The seventh segment is organizational knowledge. In this is totally new requirement, so it was not in 2008. The purpose of this new clause is to manage the organization's learnings experience as organization's knowledge. These learnings and experience are valuable and can get lost when staff turnover or fail to protect it. This can be used for training, new product development, new joining, mentoring, and benchmarking purpose. Documented information for organizational knowledge can be intellectual property, lessons learned, kaizens, standards, knowledge from customer or external. Last one is A8 segment, so which is control of externally provided processes, products and services. So it was there in 2008 also, but there are some changes now, very minor changes. So it was in clause 7.4 earlier, that is supplier management. Now it is in clause 8.4. Earlier the supplier were called as a supplier only. Now the suppliers are called as an external provider. The products were called as a purchasing products. Now purchasing products, processes and services. So there are three things that organization is going to purchase: products, processes and services. Earlier it was purchasing from supplier. Now there are three things actually. As I told, purchasing products, processes and services. So earlier purchasing from supplier only products was there. Now it is in detail that purchasing from supplier, that is products, An arrangement with associate company, for example your sister concern company is there, they are also your suppliers. Outsourcing processes to an external provider, suppose you are giving some sub process assembly to your external provider, that also should be considered for control of the supplier or external provider. This one. So earlier supplier selection, control and monitoring was there. Now also it is there, but it is risk based thinking to particular external provider for control monitoring. Selection, there is no change. Let us summary of changes from ISO 9001 2008 to ISO 9001 2015. So we will do two things in one is major changes or new requirement, and second is minor changes. So in major changes or new requirements, the A1 is structural and terminology. Then A3 is understanding the needs and expectation of interested parties, which is a new requirement. A4 is risk-based thinking, and A7 is organizational knowledge, which is a new requirement. In minor changes, that is A2 production services, A5 applicability, A6 documented information, and A8 control of externally provided processes, products, and services. Overall, I can say that this new revised standard of ISO 9001 2015 is more elaborated, more clear, and more user friendly to adopt, to implement, and use it for growth of the organization. I hope this video will help you in journey of ISO 9001 2015. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe the channel and like and share the video.